Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about the dynamic peak pay pilot program on Doordash. So Doordash is known for a lot of different pilot programs, and now they have slipped in the dynamic peak pay pilot program, which none of us would have even heard about unless we ran into it by accident, or someone happens to be looking at the peak pay page itself, which, by the way, I wouldn't have even noticed it until your driver Mike made a video on it. So thank you for your driver Mike to pointing it out and making this video possible. But with that said, I want to go over everything that needs to be said about the dynamic peak pay pilot program, what they tell you versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain, is never intended to be, legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It's advised that you conduct your own research with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over in this video is very market dependent. What applies to me and my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. How does the dynamic peak pay pilot program work? Our new dynamic peak pay pilot program does not have a start or end time. Check the Dasher app to see if dynamic peak pay is live in your area and receive an extra $1 on each delivery you complete when the offer is live at the eligible starting point. If you start your Dash when the dynamic peak pay is live but don't receive any orders before dynamic peak pay is no longer live, we'll add the extra $1 onto the next offer you receive in the same Dash. Note, if you decline the next offer, you may not see the extra $1 on the following offer. Wow, that was a lot of information on a single paragraph, actually speaking, so let's quickly go over it. Number one, does not have a start or end time. It could literally pop in and pop out before you even realize, hey, there's the dynamic peak pay on. Takes away from the natural predictability of the scheduled peak pay time that we were normally used to on the Doordash platform. Number two, it's extra $1, not $1.50, not $2, not $3, so not a variable number based on the offer they are particularly giving. It's an extra $1. Doordash is also known for saying $1 then adding another peak pay on top of it, so it's $2 and things to that effect. So would it surprise me if they were to have multiple dynamic peak pays on at a time to get orders that don't have tips on the platform off the platform? Possibly, but I doubt it. Doordash isn't known for giving money to drivers. And finally, the latter point. When you are active during dynamic peak pay and don't get offers, but then get an offer when dynamic peak pay is off, you could get the $1 on the next order, which can also be a no-tip order. And if you decline it, you lose it. Basically, if the next order you're going to receive after getting a dynamic peak pay offer is basically going to be a no-tip offer. So there you go. They're trying everything in their power to justify sending you no-tip orders and forcing you to decline them, because bad deals are worse than no deals. In terms of what Doordash tells you about dynamic peak pay, that's it. That is everything. There's no separate page for dynamic peak pay. It's all within the peak pay page. All the way down at the bottom, that's it. There's no separate page. It's not like they hid it within the consumer side like they did with Safe Dash reporting. They basically did everything in their power to hide this information from you specifically. And of course, they didn't even notify you that this was a thing at all. How very Doordash of them, right? That being said, I do have a few side notes to go over on this subject. Never chase peak pay. Peak pay, like other forms of promo pay, acts like a flame, and drivers are the moths. A flame can act as a guide to where Doordash wants you to go, right? But you can end up getting burned in the process.
Why am I not getting any orders? I'm in an area where peak pay is active, and I came all the way out here, out of my way to get more orders with peak pay. What the hell? Where are all the orders?
The problem is you're in an area where there were a bunch of no-tip offers, now oversaturated with drivers because a bunch of drivers went over there to chase it. And now that there are no good offers, you're just declining a bunch of orders, and hey look, you got burned by chasing the peak pay you thought you were gonna get. So never chase peak pay. Keep on your toes. Like they said, dynamic peak pay has no real-time commitment. It can pop in and out as it sees fit. Similar to how DoorDash used to pop in peak pay on randomly in the middle of another peak pay time, but that's not the point. One of my rules for peak pay is that peak pay makes good orders great, not bad orders tolerable, and should be considered the icing on the cake and not the cake itself. But they're not even gonna notify you about the existence of peak pay until it's already happening. You're gonna wanna keep an eye out in your bonus tab just in case something like that happens. Because an order that looks like it can have a hidden tip can actually just be an order with very low, if any, tip at all, because DoorDash is adding peak pay without even noticing anymore. So keep your eyes open and stay on your toes, because stupid games that are gonna make you accidentally accept poorly tipped orders are coming. Still not as good as multi-apping. Regardless of what bonuses are coming out, peak pay is only pocket change in comparison to the value of having a well-diversified gig portfolio. And multi-apping. Why depend on a single app to pay you more when you can diversify your gig portfolio and have multiple opportunities to earn as possible? Let all these platforms bid on your efforts, not let them determine your worth. If DoorDash isn't paying you as well, see what UberEats is paying. Oh, food delivery isn't paying right now? Let's try a different vertical. Let's go rideshare. Let's go package delivery, grocery delivery, etc. Oh, you have a high ticket skill that you could actually charge a fair amount of money for? Let's talk about making money that way. So sign up for as many apps as possible and try out different verticals, and even consider starting your own gig so you have multiple opportunities available to you that way, and you're not settling for whatever DoorDash is giving you at the time. Now, I did make a more in-depth peak pay video, as well as the challenges that they also offer. I will leave that video in the description in case you need to know more about the peak pay system in general. Feel free to check that out. Did I miss anything? Is there something else about dynamic peak pay that I have yet to cover in this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's make sure that anybody and everybody knows anything and everything they need to know about the dynamic peak pay system so we can make the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.